Welcome back to Chatted Up Sports. It is a beautiful Monday night here in Chattanooga, a beautiful Tuesday for you guys out there listening. Man, college football paid off this weekend. Uh Good, bad, and I don't know weekend for all of our football teams. I would say that. Very interesting weekend amongst three of us. And then we just got so much more coming in. We got love and hate per usual for the weekend in sports. G Money, I know it's going to be a tough one. Drew, I don't actually know what your hate was, but yeah, we'll go with that. We're going to have a little Heisman talk. Who do we got after 5 weeks? We're going to do our power rankings from the team here. The top 10. First, hit that theme music. Producer Drew. It's that one. We back, Joe. Hit it.
No.
I think we I have no idea if that went through or not. Yeah, doesn't sound like it. So that was a very interesting intro. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it. Buddy.
I heard it.
Yeah, we slightly heard it. Live and living color from Alabama, the man, the legend himself, Greg Leonard. How are you, buddy?
Oh man, it's been an interesting couple of days, sports wise. Yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that. I don't really know how to feel right now, but I'm going to try to get some of my emotions out as this show goes on in, the 47 minutes that we're unrealistically going to hit.
Love that. We're going to be on it today. Yeah, you've had a roller coaster of emotions this weekend, buddy. I thought about you, especially when I woke up this morning and I saw 40-40 tie. I was like, weird weekend for our guy. Drew, how was it this weekend, buddy? I know you had an eventful weekend, but
yeah. Started the weekend early on Thursday. Dumb. Don't do that. Any of you out there with full-time occupations, stupid. And then we transitioned to Friday, where the I would say one of the upsets of the year kicked off with Florida State and Virginia. And then we got to Saturday, enjoyed being around family. I did not enjoy watching the Tennessee game with them. Man, I hate Tennessee fans. No offense to both of you. And then yeah, the Commodores, they put my fears to bed early in the afternoon, and Kyle Pitts got a touchdown. So, decent weekend for me.
I'm not going to lie to you. I really needed that Kyle Pitts touchdown because in my league, I had a feeling this was the week he was going to get it. And I had a feeling that after what happened last week with Mr. Mark Andrews, that I put Mark Andrews on the bench and I put Kyle Pitts in my starting lineup. And that paid off because I was playing against my little brother and I was like, I got to win. And I absolutely dominated. Smoked him, bro. Smoked him. That felt good. That was only good dub I had on Saturday.
So you're a general manager. You're one of these guys that prides themselves on making the right calls.
Oh yeah. I do. I don't know if I always do it, but there's some weeks where I'm like, I'm making a change.
Sure.
I have a good feeling I can do this pretty well early on in the season. And I feel like the Arizona Cardinals, like, you tail off after those first short ones.
Yeah. You start with the cupcakes, and you know what I wish they'd take out of those fantasy apps are the projected score amounts. They throw me off. So I don't know if either of you feel this way. They throw me off so bad every time. I'm like, yeah, but he's projected to get 11.7. He's only 9.8.
No.
And it just never ends up mattering.
No, it's a fool's errand to pay attention to the projections. You can't do it. You can't do it.
You cannot.
I am one of the lucky few who is 0-4 in one of my leagues. So.
Oh no, Drew, come on, Drew.
I know. I'm doing well in the other league.
At least your doors are playing well.
I know. I just lost to my neighbor's wife this week. So
it's tough. It's okay.
It's embarrassing.
It's hard to lose to your friends.
Yeah.
When you lose to the wives, that's when it's starting to really go downhill.
Yeah, I know.
The Tebow meme needs to come out soon.
Yeah, shout out Megan. She ran my pockets. So
happens, buddy. It happens. All right. Let's do the love hate segment. G, do you want to go first? I'm gonna let you kind of decide here. Do you need some time?
No, I'm ready to roll.
All right, I'm gonna
I'm
give
ready
it
to
to you.
roll.
You're gonna go. You can start with love, or you can start with hate. It is up to you. The floor is yours.
I would like to get the hate out of the way first so I can end on a high note and a positive note. So the obvious hate from the weekend is the New York Metropolitans. I've talked about them many a times, I feel like, on this segment. And Gary Cohen, the main broadcaster for the New York Mets on the TV side, said it beautifully. Once the Mets lost that game, Francisco Lindor grounding into the double play to end the game, the Mets lose 2 out of 3 to the Miami Marlins, a team that is like just a thorn in our sides when it comes to the end of the year series in us either making or missing the playoffs. I don't know why whomever schedules or puts together the schedule decides to continually, if anybody on the Mets side has any say in who to end the season with, can we make it anybody but the Miami Marlins? Please, I'm begging you. That wound is continually opened and poured salt on over the last, gosh, 10, 15 years. It's atrocious. And Gary Cohen said it beautifully at the end of that game. The slow and methodical 3.5 month collapse had finally been complete. It was difficult in 2007, I believe it was, when you lose, the 7-game lead with 17 to go. It was that quick bottom falls out, Phillies get hot, you lose it right at the end. This just felt like, hey, like they'll figure it out eventually. And then they just didn't. And there's way too much talent, way too much money being spent on this one team, $350 million on this roster to miss the playoffs. This is the second time they've done this in the last 3 years. In 2023, they missed the playoffs with a $300+ million payroll as well. So that is my hate on the weekend. It's just atrocious. And after this statement here and talking about the Mets, I don't want to talk about them until the offseason. I will watch some of the postseason. I'm not going to nearly enjoy it as much as I do normally or I did last year, but that's just part of being a Mets fan. It's like every 7 to 10 years is you get this one really good team. And I guess last year was my really good team because I got the surprise NL Championship Series appearance against the Dodgers, played them hard, played them tough, played them well, and bowed out. You go get Juan Soto. Expectations are really high. And then, again, the rug gets pulled out from under you. Anyways, that's my hate for the weekend. Really deflating Sunday for your boy. I think it made me literally sick after I saw that. And then my love for the weekend was just the beauty that it is to be able to, and I sent y'all a picture in the group chat, just the beauty it was on Saturday to set up a big, a medium, and a small TV and have 3 different games and different things going at the same time. And just being able to just sort of be and enjoy college football. This is really the first time all season so far that I've really gotten a chance to just sit my ass on the couch and enjoy all that college football has to offer on Saturday. That is my love for the weekend.
Big fan, because that setup was nice, dude.
It was nice.
The rest of the around it is chaos, but that right there was really nice. I probably should have turned my fireplace on. I've got a little electric fireplace as my TV stand.
You just need one spot.
You can really put it. I had one on an ottoman for a while there until I mounted it the other day. So It doesn't matter what it is. It just whatever gets the job done.
Yeah. All right, Drew, you're up, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you.
I'll go second. Sure. Let me see. I will start with hate. And I have 2 that I want to shout out real quick that I'm not going to go into detail. One, Malik Neighbors tearing his ACL. Awful, man. Terrible. MetLife claims another victim. And Bryce Young sucks again. So really sad about that. But my actual hate is the fact that Jalen Daniels put up 500 yards of total offense for the Kansas Jayhawks, and they lost. He had scored 5 touchdowns, and they lost to Cincinnati. Oh, man. Kansas has a ton of NIL money, a ton of, they built the new stadium, $300 million, and they still suck. And they're wasting what I think is one of the best quarterbacks in college football. So hate that. Hate that Jalen Daniels is getting the rub that he is at Kansas because I think it was 570 total yards of offense, and he had 500 of them. Yeah, it was a rough watch. My love, of course, the Kyle Pitts TD would be my love, but it's not gonna be that just because it's well founded how I feel about Mr. Pitts. It will be the QB stabilization that we saw in college football this week. What do I mean by that? Man, my head was in a spin. It's like, I don't know who to trust. I don't know who's good. Cade Klubnitz, he sucks. Garrett Nussmeier, he sucks. Well, now we know that they both just suck, and the cream has risen to the top. Dante Moore, pretty outstanding performance at Penn State, and Ty Simpson having a good game at Georgia. Indiana's Francisco Mendoza, he also had a good game, and Diego Pavia continued to ball. I'm sure we'll get to them later. So QBs are a little stabilized, so I feel like I know who I can trust. I feel like going forward, gambling might be just a tad bit easier. So that's my love.
Big fan of that. It was very showing weekend of like who's really good. Again, I want to start out with love because it's on the same sentiment. I love when great Saturdays deliver. Like we started out with a really good game in USC in Illinois.
Sure.
I was like, we could see a beatdown, but then I said, no, we're going to pick Illinois in our minds, in our pick'ems. I'm going to go with Illinois, and they proved me right this time. Because it's nice to see somebody bounce back after an absolute whipping that they took from Indiana. I didn't think they were a terrible team. I just thought they played a really, really bad game. And that was unfortunately a day where Mr. Mendoza said, I'm going to have the game of my life. So starting out with there, I thought Alabama, Georgia was good for the most part. In the last 10 minutes was kind of a snoozer, but it was still, climactic. LSU Ole Miss was pretty good. Penn State and Oregon was awesome. The whiteout, the double OT, like it's perfect. It was perfect way to end the night. It was awesome. Love when a good Saturday really delivers because it doesn't always happen. We're like ranked matchups, great week, best slate. It paid off again. It's done it the last 2 years when they've given us the best 2 days. So there's my love. My hate. Number one, Uno Moss is the Tennessee Titans. Just in general right now, we are so terrible. And as our good man Cam Ward says, keep it a buck. We ass. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was a great
I saw
quote.
that. Love it.
Shakespeare himself.
My dad asked what keeping it a buck meant. He had no idea. It's like, keep it real. We suck.
Keep it real.
Keep going.
There we go. It's perfect though. Yeah, that's a tough one to watch. Again, we're recording this on Monday. Rumor has it that every Titans coach gets fired on Tuesday, so I don't know at this point if we are going to get Callahan for the rest of the week. It doesn't feel like it. This is the worst coach team in football and the worst coach team I can remember in a long time. This is just not a position for Mr. Callahan. That's okay. You're a really good offensive coordinator. Go be that. This is just a tough spot. This is a really tough spot. And going back and looking at some of the interviews from these GMs and from these business owners, they were just so proud of this hire. And it's just been 3-18.
Yeah.
It's been a disaster. And there's no fight, nothing. So right now, I hate the Tennessee Titans. We have turned it off the screens. We have gone to red zone full time. So I did chores yesterday.
Oh gosh, you want him gone as well?
Cam? No. I want Callahan gone.
That's what I'm saying. You want Callahan gone?
Oh yeah. It's the leadership thinks it's run its course. It's over. Like I'm fine with giving the guy 1 year. He tried Will Levis, got Cam.
Will Levis may get another job now. There's some real push for it wasn't Will Levis's fault. Like Brian Callahan being this incompetent may save the Mayo Man one more season. He may get a backup role somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Yeah. He's too personable. Like it just,
he's got a rocket arm, dude.
He does.
That game that he torched the Atlanta Falcons, his rookie, I think it was his first game when he took over for Tannehill, his rookie year. That's the upside. That's why you think about Will Levis when he's hooking up with DeAndre Hopkins and it looks great. Like,
pause.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he had Brian Callahan as coach, and his decision making is pretty kaput. But yeah, we'll see Levis somewhere else. Maybe as the backup behind Cam Ward for a year extra, and then he may probably end up on the Eagles. The Eagles seem to steal guys like that all the time. It's like, how did you guys get them for a 7th round pick? So
seems perfect. There's so much frustration, man. I don't even know where to begin with that. God. So I'm tanking on my NFL fandom this year for a while. Not buying any new clothes. Not giving anything to that.
No, don't waste your money for sure.
Don't waste my money. So there's a lot of people that are not wasting their money. Let's talk a little Heisman, boys. we're going to start from the bottom up. We're going to go with our 4 guys we think we're going to be going to New York as of right now. Through 5 weeks, we're going to give you our 4. Who's taking a flight up to the New York City? I think it's going back in New York City this year. So let's do it, boys. Start out with number 4. I'll go first, and we'll go
Take it,
round
Chase.
robin. All right. So there's a lot of cases to be made of like which of the non-quarterbacks can win it. And right now, it's the man up in Missouri, Mr. Ahmad Hardy. He is leading the SEC in rushing and touchdowns and yards and everything else that you can imagine. The guy is an absolute stud. I know he's got Bo Papula, but to take on another week of Joseph's alpha nerd, I will say he's got that man running the football. And right now, if he keeps this up during the SEC slate, dude, there's no doubt about it. He'll be in New York. So he's my number 4 spot. It's just hard to put him over quarterbacks, but I think he'll be there. He'll get votes. Ahmad Hardy, stud right now.
Do you think he continues? Because that's the question. Because
I think he continues at a pretty daggum high clip. It's just so hard.
Yeah.
He's had
Well, their non-conference has been kind of cake. So like Kansas, the border war would be the stickout game. And yes, they played South Carolina so far, but the border war would be their only non-conference that you could say was kind of tough. And he did, I will say, in that game, Ahmad Hardy did bust off like a 60-yarder, like with like a minute left, that really boosted his stats up that game. So that's the only thing that makes me worried. It's so hard to pick a non-quarterback because if they're not averaging generational numbers, then everybody's like, nah, let's just go ahead and give it to, the best quarterback available. So that would be my only question with Ahmad Hardy.
Yeah. And that was kind of like what we talked about with Ashton Genty last year and what he was doing or what he was on pace to do. And you look at Hardy, and I mean, it's hard to snuff at 250 yards on 22 carries and 3 touchdowns against my former Raging Cajun. So yeah, that's pretty good. And he's only had 1 chance against an SEC opponent at this point in South Carolina, and they won by 9 points, and he was really good. 138 yards, again, a touchdown. Good, but like you guys were talking about, like he's got to show, as you said, Drew, like some sort of generational type numbers in SEC play to continue to help Missouri to win. I mean, I know they're playing well so far, 5-0. So if you can do that and get this team to a playoff where you're putting like generational type numbers up, then yeah, there might be a case to be made.
Yeah, I think the biggest drawback for Ahmad Hardy is Bo Prabula actually has to get worse. Like,
that's the weird thing is like he would have to slow down, and then Hardy takes over as like the true guy.
Yeah,
like he's gonna have like Alabama like causes him problems, but Hardy's like, I'm still gonna ball out.
Yeah, like he'd have to have 200 yards, and Prabula would have to be like his QBR would have to go down a little bit. So, but I love the pick. I'm all for a non-quarterback winning. I hope it happens in the next few years because, like, the last one is what Devonta. Am I off there?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
all right, we'll go ahead and we'll go to G, and then we'll snake it back around.
Okay, number 4, Ty Simpson. So this is a little bit of a recency bias pick, and that's why he's at 4.
Yep.
He's got the Alabama name, which really helps Mr. Simpson. But he was real good in the Georgia game. He made some throws that I thought he was incapable of making this early, and he also handled pressure from the Georgia front better than expected. And as they get deeper into their schedule, I think Simpson, I think he's just going to be one of these guys that just continues to get better, continues to look more and more like the recruit that he was brought in to be. So I've got him at 4. I would say there are some guys that you could definitely put above him at this current moment. But I think by the end of the year, especially if he has a great performance in this next one, but the College Game Day game where now 2 weeks in a row, all eyes are going to be on your team. I think Ty Simpson is definitely a New York candidate.
You didn't have either one of those.
Look, I mean, I've got the same thing, Drew. I've got Ty Simpson at my number 4 spot, so we're locked in on that one. And it was kind of a coming out party a bit for Ty Simpson. And you look at his game against Florida State, the one game that they lost, or the only blemish on Alabama's schedule or Alabama's record so far, and he wasn't fantastic, but he also wasn't like terrible, and he wasn't the reason why you lost this game. It just seemed like a lot of pieces around him weren't really ready to play. Sacked a bunch. The offensive line wasn't very good against Florida State. That was just a game that I'm kind of like, almost throwing out to a certain degree, though his numbers weren't really bad. But Alabama just seemed like, hey, we think we're better than Florida State. We're going to go out there. We're just going to play and we'll be fine and we'll beat them. And that wasn't the case. And give Kalen DeBoer and his staff a lot of credit because they've really turned it on. And Ty Simpson has been really good in terms of his quarterback play, obviously crushed it against Wisconsin. And then in that big moment, what can you do for me in SEC play in a rival's house? And you go between the hedges and you lead your Alabama Crimson Tide to a victory with 276 yards through the air, a couple of throwing scores, and he was really good. Yeah. He answered the bell, as you talked about. So yeah, this next one's going to be big. As you mentioned, Drew, all eyes are going to be on him again, and can he continue this? And he's got to continue to show I can show up in SEC games and I can make big plays. And like you said, Chase, like that Alabama name certainly helps him behind him.
Sure.
Dude.
And I think
Bama Vanderbilt's game day.
I know.
What a life.
We'll talk about it on Thursday. I don't want to get to it now.
Sorry.
Did not see that one coming.
Oh gosh. But I will say, I think another thing that I mentioned is Simpson has Bernard and Ryan Williams. And I think that's really going to help him over every single quarterback on this list. He has the no doubt, and he has Jam Miller. He has the no doubt best weapons in my mind. So even I think the connection between those two specifically, because he's been great with Bernard, but with Jam Miller getting back in the fold and Ryan Williams continuing him coming back from the concussion, I think the connection between those weapons is only going to get better. So, I mean, I just looked. This is at plus, I think it's at plus 1,000 right now. I may grab it when the show ends. I'm not gonna lie. It would be Greg will not, but I may grab it. It's good value. It's got all the hallmarks of like, oh crap, another Alabama player won the Heisman because they were just good. So
yeah, Caden Proctor, another lethal weapon.
You can't actually bet in the state of Alabama. I just I did find that out. Not that I tried to, but I looked to see what states betting was legal, and it's not legal in Alabama. So
yeah, it's like there's weird little spots. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's go to number 3.
You're up. You're snake drafting it.
So it's Drew or it's me?
It's you. Greg. It's you.
Oh, me? Okay. I'll go number 3. Let's go with the guy that's near and dear to our hearts, Chase. Let's go with Joey Aguilar. I know Miggy said in the group chat, like,
do it.
I gotta take him. I don't care. I gotta go with Joey. Joey A. I gotta go with Joey Aguilar. Joey cool. Literally, look, like nearly 1,500 yards through the air through these first, 4 games, 5 games, whatever we're in at this point. 13 touchdowns. I know he had a couple interceptions against Mississippi State, but that's what I loved about Joey Aguilar is that, like, we talked about him early in the season. Dude's kind of a gunslinger, and I love how he just is not afraid to take some risks sometimes. And I feel like the last couple of quarterbacks between Joe Milton and Nico Imaliava, whether it was their own, their own decisions or if it was the coaching staff and not having a lot of belief in them, but they just really didn't let it rip all that much. Joey does not have a problem letting it rip. He reminds me a lot of 2022 Hendon Hooker, just letting it loose, and the weapons are good there. Brazel's obviously been incredible. Mike Matthews trouble a little bit sometimes with some drops, but he's been good. Staley as well. So the weapons are there. I know, Drew, you talked about those for Ty Simpson, but I'm taking Joey Aguilar just based on this story alone, and the numbers that he's putting up are pretty incredible. He won't win it unless he goes absolutely insane the rest of the season. But I just love him out there, and I love what he's doing. He's got a fantastic story. He's added a couple more touchdowns on the ground, so his legs are always a factor as well. And he's just played better than a lot of us, if not all of us, anticipated as Tennessee fans or college football fans in general. And it's an incredible story, and it's one of those ones that makes you feel good about rooting for this kid who's had this journey almost out of football, gets back in, then plays, well at the mid-major level, and now getting this opportunity for one last shot at a, mid or a Power 5, Power 4, D1 opportunity as a starting quarterback job. And who knows? He has an incredible season. Maybe somebody takes a shot at him in the draft and he gets an opportunity to go, be a backup somewhere or be in some practice squads or make some money and make a living playing in the NFL when that didn't even seem like any sort of an opportunity, any sort of a chance, any sort of anything. I think he wanted to be a firefighter, right? So it could just, it's a really cool story.
Yep. He was ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say
I'm going to take Joey.
If Joe Milton can get backup quarterback reps in the NFL, Joey Aguilar certainly can.
Dude, there's the
He
thing
should.
about it. Joe could sell anybody. If the aliens were to come down and
I
they're like,
know.
they were just
Show
watching
us-
practice people.
Show
they'd be
us your
like,
best. Yeah.
that guy.
Show us what you have to offer. And they're like, all right, what team is he on? Oh, George Pickens, go on a go route real quick.
Yeah.
Joe Milton saves the earth on an 80-yard go route.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Goodness.
I
Okay.
don't know. There's every opportunity he might overthrow him.
That's very true.
Yeah. Sorry, 120-yard go route.
There you go.
But okay. I'm also going to do the homer thing, and I'm going to take Diego Pavia third. And I want to put him.
Doubt.
I want to put him at 1, but I can't because I think Dante Moore has actually outplayed him a little bit. Or some of that. Sorry, I shouldn't have given that away. But anyways, Diego Pavia, his numbers are great. They're 5-0. They've beaten South Carolina already, which I kind of hope South Carolina wins a few more times, so that win looks a little better. He has 1,300 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, 300 yards rushing almost. There's almost no quarterback in the nation that can stack up against that, and he's in complete control of this offense. He is. You mentioned the Joey Aguilar story. There's actually no better story than Diego Pavia and his mother, who's going to date Theo Vaughn or something. But
Love that.
yeah, man.
Thanks for the clip, Theo.
Look, if he somehow does this against Alabama, and I don't want to get too far into it, I'm trying to toe the line, wait till Thursday. But if he somehow does this against Alabama, we're talking serious, because the rest of the schedule now doesn't look that hard to me. So like the Texas and LSU games, I kind of have those circles as kind of guaranteed losses before. I'm not actually that worried about those anymore for Vanderbilt, and I'm actually a little bit more worried about Tennessee than anybody. But yeah, if he does this against Alabama, his odds are going to rocket, especially if he has the game that he had anywhere close to the game that he had last year. The moments, the deliverance, it's all about hype with this guy, and the hype will be off the freaking charts if he's able to deliver at Bryant-Denny.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like the last two guys you picked, like it's really hard to take off Joey or Diego, and it's crazy to think that Joey's leading the league in passing yards right now in the SEC, and Diego's not too far behind at 4, and both of them 13 tutties leading the SEC. Like, holy crap, the Vanderbilt and Tennessee quarterback that I really did. I thought Pavia was going to take a hard dive. I was like, he got all the clout. This team's gotten worse.
Sure.
Blah blah blah. Dude, that boy put in the work in the offseason.
Look, I don't think it was ever going to be a fall off. He's just too much of a competitor. But I'm with you. I thought there would be some substantial leveling off of, like, all right, we get it. We get what you do. We know what you do. But man, he's actually just talented. He's just more talented than a lot of the guys that he's going up against.
I thought he was a gimmick, and he wasn't.
No,
I think that was the thing. I thought it was like the 4 plays. That's all you heard about last year. Blah blah blah. He was not that. I also have Diego on here. I actually have him as my 2. I really think you get a couple of these good games, and you're just like average ass in Texas or whatever else, or like,
sure.
Like, I think you got to do pretty decent against Tennessee. I think you got to end it strong. But if he's like pretty good and they sneak out this win, this is like,
yeah,
buddy,
yeah,
you're right.
If
number
they beat
3
Alabama, I will put him in my top 4. He's not currently in my top 4.
Yeah.
I think he has to be. I mean, you just can't deny him, and I get it. Like, the AP poll came out and they were at 16, and I'm glad they're at 16 because I don't want them any higher. But I will say, if he was at Alabama, he'd be number 1.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Sorry, I had to let that leak out of me.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. My number 3 is Haynes King. If you're gonna find a Superman in college football right now, it's Haynes carrying that team. I don't know how good Georgia Tech actually is. I guess the Clemson win's not as good looking, but dadgum, it was a heart and soul game. This guy's just awesome. I think narrative surrounds everything. Everybody, like all these guys we've mentioned, great storylines. But if Haynes carries this out and he gets a good win this weekend again, and then like they just keep rolling, really their best games is going to be against Georgia at the end of the year. Like, you got to win versus Virginia Tech, at Duke, Syracuse, NC State, Boston College, Pitt, Georgia. Like, give him a shot. He has a couple really nice games in there, leading the league in ACC rushing touchdowns. Like, Guy's a hoss.
And
I think he's going to roll through. I think he's going to stat pad for the next couple weeks too.
and they survived what I thought was going to be like their tripping point this week.
Yeah.
Like I thought this was it. I was like, oh crap, Georgia Tech's they're going to do the thing that all these these teams that are not used to being good in Power 4 do.
Yep.
I thought, man, I was like, crap, Wake Forest is really going to steal this one. But no, they got past it, and you're reading that schedule out. That schedule looks easier and easier every single day.
Every week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, Duke could be sneaky. They're not that good.
No,
They're not that good.
No, Boston College is bad.
Syracuse,
NC State lost to Virginia Tech this week.
Yeah, like these are never easy games because they're in conference. But dude, he's got a march where he could really stat pad too. Like these are some nice games for him to get those numbers up too. And he somehow
3 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Is that passing?
Yeah. He's also leading the ACC
7
in
touchdowns on the ground. I get it, and he's got 380 yards on the ground. But I don't know how you put him over Joey.
When you sent that, Chase, he never even crossed my mind.
Never.
Man, a Georgia Tech Heisman winner. I don't think
just the guys that I think are going to go.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's just an animal on the ground. Animal. So
he's a great story
for what it is, boys. Great story, and he's going to tear it up the rest of the season.
And you had Diego it too.
Yeah.
Anybody else you want to shout out since you got a pick right now?
Random honorable mention. I guess another one that I had. There's 2 of them that I had a really hard time was Trinidad and Mendoza. Trinidad's not there because he's not played as many games, but he's been awesome. Yeah. Like the highest pass rating since he's played, better than Joey, better than Diego. Like while he's played, he has had a better rating against some damn good defense.
Yes.
That LSU game proved a lot. So he's another one. Like unbelievable story. Played 27 years, it feels like. Played in D2, all the stuff. So he's another one that could roll through. Trinidad was really good against LSU at times. And I was like, all right. And then Fernando Mendoza.
Did I call him Francisco? I did, didn't I?
Racist.
It's fine.
Oh, man. Okay. My number 2, just because I wanted to find a non-quarterback slot here, is Jeremiah Smith. Now, to be honest, I haven't watched Jeremiah Smith play a snap except for the Texas game.
I was excited.
Yeah. I've watched that. But the stats look great. I'm going off pure like either him or Ryan Williams. I feel like is going to get in the discussions more seriously. And Jeremiah Smith has plus 1,000 odds, which is like the second or third highest right now, which feels crazy to me. The numbers are really good. If Ohio State's going to win out, if they're going to go undefeated again this year, which feels crazy, but I guess that's just kind of the program Ryan Day's building right now, then somebody from that team has to be in serious consideration by default. That's going to be Jeremiah Smith this year. So, yeah, he's going to be my number 2 just for fun, just because I want him to go, or I want some non-quarterback to go, and that I think he's really the only viable option, maybe besides Hardy. I mean, maybe you could convince me of Jeremiah Love, but Greg, I want to ask you, what would Jeremiah Smith, what would his stat line have to be to actually to not just to win, just to go to New York?
Oh gosh, what would his stat line have to be? Gosh, I'd have to really like sit down and look at that because I'd have to kind of like compare it to what other Heisman Trophy, like just thinking about like Jalen Hyatt, I think we've had a lot of really good.
Yeah, why don't you pick? I'll pull up Devontae Smith and Jalen Hyatt stats, and then you can base it off that.
Okay, so Chase, you just mentioned you got me calling Francisco now. Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Mendoza at 2 for me. This dude has just been absolutely ice cold, like ice in the veins. He had 16 total touchdowns in terms of through the air, 2 more on the ground, so 18 total, just 1 interception. And look, those big that big win against Illinois, like that ass kicking of Illinois with 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, was pretty darn impressive. 21 for 23. Like he's got like a 74% completion percentage. He's just on it, and that's going 13 for 23 last week at Iowa. And again, at Iowa, that's usually a very good defensive team. You go out there, win a tough game on the road, 20-15. You go out there, you throw the one pick, but you throw the 2 touchdowns, over 230 yards. So to me, he's been incredibly impressive. And I get it. Like, he's played the Old Dominions, the Kennesaw, the Indiana State. I understand. But that game against Illinois was the big eye opener for me, and the reason why I have him on this list. And I'm going to monitor him. Obviously, the stats look really good right now with the competition he's played against. He needs to do more in terms of like to continue to move up that board for me. But you can't deny some of the stats that he's put out there. So I got Mendoza at 2 for me.
It's going to be a hard sell. He's going to be a really hard sell because he plays for Indiana. And that's sad. But
they're going to get to play some people. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like Mendoza. I like Cignetti just keeps proving everybody wrong. It's pretty awesome to see. Okay, Greg. So Hyatt's last year at Tennessee, 1,267 yards and 15 touchdowns. And then Devonta Smith, his Heisman year, 1856 with 23 touchdowns.
Dang. Yeah, I'd have to say he'd probably have to close in on 2,000 yards receiving and get at least 20 touchdowns.
This is going to be a tough year to be out the quarterbacks. Like last year was one of those years you could sneak in. You could have your top 2 not be it. This is going to be a really tough year. To give you guys an example of like the Biletnikoff order winners, notables, Travis Hunter, 1,152 yards last year. Obviously played both ways, so that's a little different. Jamar Chase, 1,500 yards, 1,498. Justin Blackman, stud college player.
Oklahoma State, right?
1,782.
Wow.
Didn't even get to go to New York, I don't think.
Oh, he didn't get to go that year?
Maybe not.
Wow.
Okay.
Golden Tate, 1,500 yards. Marcus Harris, 1996, 1,650. Back in the day.
So follow-up question. Is Jeremiah Smith capable of putting up that stat line with Julian Sayin as his quarterback?
No.
I was going to say, that's what I worry about. He doesn't have like a Joe Burrow or a Hendon Hooker.
Doesn't really have an offense.
He don't even have like a Cardell Jones.
Yeah, and he doesn't have an offense geared. Like he's great. Like it's like, hey, thank you for being here, Jeremiah Smith. But that's not what we want to do. Like the highlights are great, but they're not actively forcing the ball down the field to him.
Yeah, there's no pushing the ball down the field. He is a very accurate guy who can really sling it. In the mid range, medium long distance, but that's his limitations. Again, and you mentioned that he's not that way. Another guy that might actually have it, fun honorable mention, who I really wanted to put in there after this week if they would have won, Mekhi Lemon at USC.
Yeah,
leading the nation in leading the nation in receiving yards right now. The yak this guy puts down is unbelievable, boys. He's so fun to watch. So if they would have won, I actually probably would have put him in this week, but did not.
And I want to retract my previous statement. I meant, Jalen Hyatt winning the Biletnikoff, not winning the Heisman Trophy. I don't know if that was clear or not, but
now you're good. Yeah. So there's those guys. It would take a crazy back half of the year.
Yeah.
And dominating the big games.
I just want to see somebody that isn't like, because the Ginty thing is great. And it was fun, but I want to see somebody get in off pure stats, not just narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not that Ginty wasn't pure stats, because he was, but Hunter was narrative.
Yeah.
And I think we can all agree that, like, if you put stats up against narrative, like I don't want to take anything away from Travis Hunter, because I mean, he was a great college player, but I want to see somebody like where the voters are like just gritting their teeth, like, dude, fine, you had 2,000 yards and 23 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You averaged 250 rushing yards a game. Like that's what I want to see. And it may just not be doable anymore with as good as everybody's gotten at the sport of college football.
Yeah. All right. Greg's
got the last one. He's bringing us home.
All right. So my top spot, you mentioned him a little bit, Drew. I'm going to go with Dante Moore, 1,200 passing yards.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. And the crowning jewel for his number 1 spot was obviously this past weekend, going to the whiteout, going to Happy Valley, dominating it, making it a sad valley for all the Penn State fans in the whiteout there. And I kind of loved what Dan Lanning said, and this just made me love him even more about the environment. He's like, yeah, I expected it to be better, and it really wasn't that great. Didn't really feel the crowd, And I don't know if y'all saw this, but the Oregon players, they rushed the student section for Penn State, and there were a lot of birds given, and not the ducks,
So
as it was towards the fan base, and obviously they're a little bit hostile. But Dante Moore, just cool, calm, and collected, made the big throws when he needed to in that game. Uh, Nearly 250 yards, the 3 touchdowns, and got the win. And again, a hostile environment. And we knew this guy coming out of high school had a lot of potential. He was a 5-star for a reason. Went to UCLA, obviously, and now is getting a real shot with a real program to do some really big things for Dan Lanning and his staff. And that's a great sort of transition that they've been able to make from what Dylan Gabriel was the last couple of years there last year to what Dante Moore is right now. And Dan Lanning just continues to do work.
It's so special up
Man,
there, dude.
he may be Lanning has quickly become my favorite college head coach, or maybe just guy that I trust the most because Lanning
Yeah.
doesn't seem to have a weakness right now. No, I know he lost in the college football playoff. But I don't consider that a weakness when you get all the way to the college football playoff
As the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I'm talking about the regular season. This guy's just taking B to A, and he's not really caring who it is. He's just like, oh, you're going to put Penn State in front of me? Fine. Colorado, when they're super hyped up, sure. Washington with Michael Penix, no problem. Like he's
special.
He's a real deal right now.
And I think he's got that chip on the shoulder, a little bit psycho right now. I think his life's all about football.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a man on a mission. And I can't believe he found another one. Like, God, I knew Dylan was good last year, but he took a leap. Bo Nix took a tremendous leap.
Oh yeah.
Now you're making Dante Moore into everybody's favorite Heisman pick right now.
I think the case, all three of us have it. I think the case against Dante Moore will come down to that, though, what you just said. Like, I think, like, when it comes down to it, if the national media is like, are we really sure about Dante Moore? Like, you compare his numbers and maybe they're not standing out as much as you'd like. It's like, okay, well, he did this for Dylan Gabriel and he was bad at Oklahoma. And then you saw Bo Nix at Auburn and you thought he wasn't even worthy to play quarterback in the FCS. And so, now he's got Dante Moore, who he's turned around from 10 interceptions when he was at UCLA before he was benched. So that would be my case against Dante Moore. Is it Dante Moore or is it Dan Lanning? And in my opinion, the thing that sets Dante Moore apart is the eye test. I don't know how you guys feel. Dante Moore right now is standing out of like, oh, you're making these throws. You're not being scripted into like, here's a 7-yard slant. That's easy. Let your 4-star receiver run under it. It's no, here's a sidearm angle when I've got a guy in front of me, pressure, and I just won in Happy Valley. So
I know the sidearm crossbody thing is a terrible idea 90% of the time. The throw he made early on in that game, to hit that first down, it's impressive. Like you gotta make the throw if you can, and he did it. And it's like, okay, this guy's incredible. And I mean, they got to bounce back in 2 weeks, go to Indiana or versus Indiana. Sorry,
is Dan Lanning becoming sort of like the newer age Lincoln Riley? And I know Lincoln Riley had like a bunch of Heisman Trophy winners at quarterback and things like that, but it seems like the pedigree that he's starting to sort of build with like turning these meh quarterbacks at other places into like legitimate quarterbacks for his program. It's kind of eye-opening.
Yeah. Lincoln Riley. It's really hard to do a one-to-one comparison, isn't it? Because of how Lincoln Riley has fared in recent years. But I'd say you're spot on there.
His time in Oklahoma,
I'd say you're.
That's what I'm saying. It's like so special.
On,
he's not quite there, but he's like on that trajectory of like, I don't have any Heisman Trophy winners, but I have taken guys from where they were very mediocre in their other places, and I've really made them really good, very viable. And a guy like Bo Nix, who you weren't sure was going to get a starting job in the NFL, goes out and wins the starting job as his first season, his rookie year. And then Dylan Gabriel going ahead of a guy like Shedeur Sanders, who had all the fanfare, all the name around him, the name, image, and likeness, to say the least. He had all of that around him. He got drafted ahead of him. He's playing ahead of them right now in the Cleveland Browns. And, now he's kind of doing the same with Dante Moore, who he will be a high draft pick when he's draft eligible. Is it this year or is it next year?
Yeah, he'll be this year.
This is third year. Yeah, I think you're on the right track, Greg, but I'm here to say that what Dan Lanning is doing may be more impressive than what Lincoln Riley did at Oklahoma, because I do think that Lincoln Riley had more talent to work with, and I think Lanning is not only developing these guys, he's doing it quickly. He's also building a sustainable program around them where it doesn't just kind of collapse in on itself when the talent runs out, when the Kyler Murrays, the Bakers, when they run out, when they're no longer here, then Lanning's like, oh, that's fine. I'll just grab this guy, and maybe if he's not the best, maybe if I grab Jackson Arnold and he doesn't work out, then we'll still go 9-3. Like we won't have that big of an issue. I think what Lanning's doing is more impressive than what Riley's doing, personally.
And he can coach defense.
Yeah.
And he can coach defense. That's the only thing that Lincoln couldn't do. Lincoln brought Baker Mayfield to new heights, man. Kyler was so impressive, dude. So impressive. And what he's doing with Makai right now is awesome.
Even
I
with
will say this.
wasn't it with Jalen Hurts as well? He had.
He was.
Yeah, he had a good little run there with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he win the Heisman?
Yes.
He did win.
Yes.
He did. Yeah, he had just stupid rushing.
That was the thing, because it worked out good for everybody. It worked out for Tua, worked out for Jalen.
Yeah, it really did.
And that was the year that Oklahoma wore those sick white and red jerseys. Man, I miss those. Oklahoma, bring those back, dude. Those things have never been seen again since the Jalen Hurts year, and I don't know where they went. They had like the white with the red sleeves. Sorry, I'm tangenting on it.
Sweet.
So sweet.
Those are sweet. Who had the sweet uniforms this weekend?
Oregon.
Red team. Oregon had great uniforms this weekend. Yeah. But there was a white and red team that had sweet ones too. I can't remember who it was. Anyways, yeah, there were. It was a good uniform weekend. The whiteout was awesome. Not gonna lie to you, but like all those little like panoramic views. I'm like,
I know,
dude.
They killed it. They killed the coverage this week.
It was so fun. It was so fun, man. Wish my patio would be done, but it wasn't. I want to sit out there. I know we're so close yet so far away. I think it should be done tomorrow. Yeah. Any other parting touches here, Dante Moore? Sign me up. I'm on the way.
I guess the one that we didn't touch on that is kind of obvious that none of us had, which I'm okay with none of us having him because I don't think he'll win it, would be Carson Beck. Any thoughts there?
Just the game against Florida was just not good enough, I know it's a good defense. That's all I got.
Yeah, he might end up in that conversation as the season progresses. And again, they were off this week, so it's like his numbers don't look quite as good as the other guys on this list as well. So when we look up at the end of the year, look, he started really impressively, like you said, Chase. That game against Florida, a little bit of a disappointment, if you will. But I think at the end of the year, he will be probably on the fringe of that conversation, maybe like 5 or 6.
Yeah, next week.
4.
Yeah, definitely, especially if he plays well against Florida State and Florida State looks competent. If they look competent, I think Beck's right there back in it. But
yeah,
I think it's kind of a simple case with him. Like we kind of know. Like I think there's some more intrigue with the Pavias, the Aguilars, the Dante Moores, the Mendozas. Like Beck's, he's been here for a while, dude. Like we know what you are, and I think that's going to hurt him in the long run.
Yeah, and I'll say this, and I think it's just a bad year, but I know we also put Ruben Bain on there, Ruben Bain Jr. on there. That's just, you got to have some pop this year. Sure. You got to be at least ripping through TFLs like nobody's business. Like you got to be in the top 5 in sacks. Like he's great. He sets a tone. It's an impact over a stats kind of thing, but I just don't think he can produce the numbers this year to even really get inside the top 5. Like it's gonna be so hard.
Yeah. If Miami, we'll have to check back based on how Miami's season goes.
Yes.
If Miami is 12-0 and one of Bain or Beck will get invited, I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
Oh,
you kind of have to at that point.
Beck goes, yeah.
You'll have just checking in on Miami. Week 10, see what's up.
See where we're at.
Yeah.
See where we're at. Temperature check. Where are we at?
We're not doing bad.
48.
This should
about 49.
I think. Yeah, we go to an hour 10. I mean this shouldn't take.
No.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the NFL. Buddy, good on college. Great weekend. Looking forward to it this weekend. Vols are off. Vols baseball will be here. Fingers crossed. Big interview. Yeah. NFL power rankings. We're gonna do our top 10. We're gonna start out. We're gonna go 6 through 10, each of us, and then we're gonna go individual back and forth 5 through 1. Or do you just want to do this?
No, I think we'll just say your 10 through 6, and then we'll discuss, and then
circle back
5 through 1, and then and then we'll hit the pathetic Titans and the annoying Falcons.
I don't want to. Drew, we'll start you out, buddy.
All right. So my 10 through 6 for the NFL after week 4. Now, the teams playing tonight, none of them would make this list anyways. So
No.
teams playing tonight are Jets, Dolphins. We're recording on Monday night. Jets, Dolphins, Bengals, and Broncos. So no worry there. Okay, my 10 through 6. Jaguars, Seahawks, Packers, Colts, and Chargers. And then my honorable mentions are Steelers, 49ers, Bucks, and Falcons. Greg, what you got?
So my 10 through 6, kind of close to that, a Jag, Seahawks, Packers. And then I'm going to go Rams at 7 and Chiefs at number 6.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you, like 12 through 7. I didn't know. So I'm just going off a whim here. I'm gonna go Colts, Jags. God, I can't believe I put 2 AFC South teams in there. Packers, Bucks, Chiefs.
Okay. So I want to start. I'm glad you brought that up. I want to start with our 2 AFC South friends because you did not have them in, Greg? Did I miss that?
Who?
The Colts.
Colts?
You did not.
No, I didn't have the Colts. I have the Colts just outside.
Okay. So I want to start with our 2 friends because I want to get a temperature check on everybody. Are these teams even any good? Like seriously, like both of them. I think you would probably say that the Colts are a little bit better than the Jaguars. But man, I'm really the reason this is so hard is because I kept like shuffling these 2 stupid AFC South teams.
Yeah.
That are 3-1, and I think the Colts should be 2-2. They get the leverage call against the Broncos, and I think we're having a completely different discussion about the Broncos. If they don't get that leverage call at the end of regulation in that game. But the Jaguars every week feel like they're 1 play away from completely blowing the game. That's just kind of how I feel. For some reason, I've caught a lot of the Jaguars this year.
Big Liam Cohen guy.
Man, but you get the win on the 49ers, and I'm like, that's a pretty good win.
That's what I'm saying. You've got to go cross country to go to Levi Stadium, and you get that win. To me, that's the most impressive win out of either of these 2 teams. And look, the Indianapolis Colts have had a pretty easy time of it. As you mentioned, they probably should have lost to the Broncos. You beat up the Titans in Nashville. You beat the Dolphins handily. And then you lose in LA to the Rams. That's not a bad loss. But yeah, to me, the Jacksonville Jaguars have just looked a little bit more impressive with their wins. And even in their loss, against the Bengals, I believe Joe Burrow was still playing at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the thing, is like I had to take that into account. I was like, you skimmed it out. Yeah.
The Jaguars, okay, I will say the Jaguars did lose to Jake Browning for the most part.
Yeah.
Jake Browning led the game-winning drive, and I also the Colts. I don't know how much of that game you caught because those stupid LA West Coast games are never on. Some of them are blacked out. Adonai Mitchell did cost the Colts 14 points this week on a pointless holding call on a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
Yep.
And he had a seizure when he crossed the goal line. I've never seen a player do that before.
That was crazy.
This wasn't a drop the ball. This was kind of like a,
oh my gosh.
I don't know what he's doing. But anyways, I would say that there are cases you can make, like Greg said. I would say for both teams where like they could probably be 4-0, both of them, and or they could both be 2-2, and it's like I don't know. I don't know if either of these 2 teams are good, but by record alone and what they've done, I had to put them both on here. And Daniel Dimes and Trevor Lawrence both look good. They look competent. Maybe they don't look top 5, but they look better.
They look good. Like that's the thing about. At least I think about that with Danny. I'm like, you can watch and be like, okay, he's just kind of making it. I think you let a bull be a bull, and he gets to do that around the goal line. He's getting the rushing touchdowns. He's getting to be Danny. And dude, whatever's happening up in New York, maybe they found their perfect guy in Jackson. Maybe so, but Danny didn't belong up there, and maybe it's just working out with the Colts.
And you look at both of these teams, and both of them are having great running back seasons as well. I know a lot of people fantasy wise were down on Travis Etienne. He's having an incredible season right now. That's been huge for the Jags. Yep. And look, Trevor's not even playing that great. He's got a 58% completion percentage. Like he's 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It's been a lot of Travis Etienne. So don't try to tell me, I'm not saying you guys, but anybody that, hey, the Jags are good because Trevor Lawrence has been ass so far this year. Danny Dimes
And
has
the
actually been good.
receivers.
He's been, yeah,
Receivers are
BTJ,
terrible.
BTJ forgot
Oh,
how to play
yeah.
football, and
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is still doing the Trevor Lawrence thing. He's still throwing picks in the red zone, which is like, dude, just
so
do the simple
frustrating.
things. But
So frustrating.
yeah, I don't know. I think the Colts and the Jaguars, I think they're at least here to stay for a little bit. I don't see. I know you had them just outside, Greg, but I don't see either of these two teams just based on the division that they're in. I don't see them going too far.
Well,
It
look,
would take.
it gets really difficult for the Jags here over the next couple of weeks. The Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Rams. Now they're all at home, so that's good. But those are 3 really good teams. And then for the Colts, the Raiders, the Cardinals, at the Chargers, then the Titans. So like the Colts to me have a better chance of staying around. Where I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for the Jags.
Sure. Yeah, that's a fair point. And I think as far as power rankings, I do think that obviously these are going to be one of these two teams is coming out of the AFC South. Obviously, we can. Sorry, Chase. We'll pour a little bit more dirt on the grave, but the Texans, the 0-3 start. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it.
They're not very good. They
Yeah.
can't score.
Yeah, I don't see it. Like it took them a long time to polish off the Titans this week. So, moving on because I know we want to get home for Monday Night Football.
We don't have to. I would just say, and so Packers, Bucks, Chiefs. Who did you guys have from 8, 9, 6?
I had the other two that I had were Chargers, Packers, and Seahawks.
I had the Packers, Rams, Chiefs.
Yeah. Let's leave the Chiefs because obviously I've put them somewhere else. I want to talk about the Packers with you, Greg. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I forgot you're a Mets fan. So when you originally were talking love-hate, I was like, oh, he's going Packers. He's about to tear into the team that gave up 40 points to the Cowboys yesterday. So I'll get out of the way.
Dak was incredibly on. Like they had I'll give them a lot of credit. Like they had a really good game plan for what Jeff Hafley wanted to do defensively. They didn't allow Micah Parsons to ruin that game. And then, their other guys held up against Lucas Van Ness and Rashawn Gary. Like I was pretty confident that Dak Prescott was going to throw at least one interception in that game because the pass blocking up until that point for the Cowboys had been absolutely horrific. But give Brian Schottenheimer and their staff a lot of credit for what they did offensively. Now, they were terrible defensively as well, and obviously made this a 40-40 tie and a shootout. But really happy still that the Packers were able to respond offensively. But the special teams has just got to be better. Like, and this is an issue that has bitten us for the last decade or two in Packerland and Cheeseheadland. Like, the special teams have been terrible, from the botched onside kick in the 2014 NFC Championship game against the Seahawks, missed kicks in multiple playoff games, the block kick last week against the Browns, the blocked extra point, the return for 2 points, like allowing Turpin to get all the way to the 50 on that final drive when they scored a touchdown. Like it's maddening. And I love Rich Bisaccia. I think he's a fantastic coach. I don't know what needs to change or be done differently. And I know Matt LaFleur loves Rich Bisaccia. Everybody seems to love him in that building. But something needs to be different from a special teams standpoint. That is absolutely killing us. I don't think that the Packers at this point should have those Super Bowl aspirations on them anymore. I was really pleased with what I saw offensively, and I know they'll be better. I know in my heart of hearts they'll be better defensively, but there were such high expectations after the Micah Parsons trade and after the first 2 weeks, what they did obviously to the Lions and what they did to the Commanders, which you can't, push that aside. But over the last 2 weeks, it's been pretty embarrassing, to say the least, in terms of like the offense and the defense can't get on the same page. And Micah Parsons said it. If you score 20 points or 27, I don't remember what he said. I think it was 20 points. We should win that football game. Well, Micah, they put up 40 for you last night, and you only ended in a tie. So to me, that was incredibly embarrassing. I don't feel great about where the Packers are right now. Again, it was bad to give up. I'm hoping this is just a blip on the radar and they'll get their shit together, because I do think Matt LaFleur is a really good head coach. But you got to show me, like, you've got the talent. The team is invested in these guys. Now you have to go and win. You've got the team that is capable of winning a Super Bowl. Now you got to go out there and execute. There's just a lot of things that they need to clean up. And I really wanted to leave them off this list, but what they did in week 1 and 2, I couldn't overlook that.
You can't, especially with that team. And look, you mentioned Dak was awesome. Like Dak. So the fun ones that I was reading some stories today, like Dak under pressure last night. 4 of them came really late with under pressure, but like he was talking about 12 for 14, 162 yards and a tutty when under pressure last night. 90.5 PFF grade under a rush. That's nasty, dude.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, because I was reading stuff. It was talking about like how they just didn't get to him early. They weren't even coming close. And then they turned it on like late in the 4th and just didn't fade. He was just hot at that point. Didn't matter. Like Ferguson was awesome. Pickens he's really good. He's coming along as their one guy. But again, I believe in somewhat of this offense for Dallas. Well, I really believed in the Packers defense, and that just didn't really show up.
Yeah, without CeeDee Lamb, you let them put 40 on you without CeeDee Lamb. Come on.
Yeah, dude.
Come on.
Yeah. Turpin, those guys, get out of here.
No way.
I don't know. Like, Dak can have those games, man. Dak with those 2 weapons, especially, it's impressive. Like Pickens is everything they were hoping so far. We've not seen a meltdown yet. So who knows?
It's early.
It's early, man. Bucks, I know we've all got them right there too.
I've got them just outside.
You do.
See, for me, I've got the Bucks at 4.
Wow. Okay. I guess we gotta pivot then and talk about the Bucks.
Sorry, I thought somebody.
Yep. Yeah. No,
that's where we had a big discrepancy.
Yeah, I know. Look, I know they're 3-1, and I know that they got close to the Eagles this week, but the Eagles put up their worst half of football ever as a franchise in the second half, and they still beat the Bucks.
Some of that to the Bucks.
No,
you can't do it. You can't do it.
I
can't do it, can you?
I attribute it to the Eagles being the Eagles, but I will say here's why. That's not why I had them outside the top 10. I had them outside the top 10 because it's taken Baker magic to beat the Falcons and the Texans and oh god, no, I looked this up. What was the other team?
The Jets.
The Falcons, the Texans, and the Jets, whose combined record is, does anybody know?
3 and something?
It's 4-8.
4-8.
There you go.
Or I'm sorry, it's 3-9. Greg is right because the Jets are 0-3. Yeah, it's 3-9. So that's 3 game-winning drives to beat 3 teams that are 3-9.
They beat them by combined 6 points.
6 points, and then
hey, that's okay. That's okay. I love a team that can find a way to win a game. You know, like by hell or by high water, they find a way to win a game. And I have the Eagles way up on my list. I think I have them at 2. So it was a close game that they lost there. This is a team. Look, we've talked a lot about the Falcons. I know me and Miggy have, like, especially over the years. But Drew, I know you're a Falcons guy as well. Like, to me, the Falcons have probably the most talent in this division. But some way, somehow, the Bucks continue to find a way to win this division with Todd Bowles and with Baker Mayfield, and they just keep reloading. Mike Evans is down. He's probably not going to get 1,000 yards this season. Now I say that, he probably is going to do it when he comes back from the hamstring injury. Godwin is back. Ibuka's been amazing. Bucky Irving had a great game this past weekend. Vita Vea is still out there doing it. Antoine Winfield Jr. Like, they've still got a lot of really good pieces. So to me, I get what you guys are saying. I wholeheartedly understand, Drew, why you have them outside the top 10. I get it. But to me, there's just something in the water there with Baker Mayfield and the way that he plays, that FU attitude. It's kind of like the Dan Lanning of NFL quarterbacks. He plays with a chip on his shoulder always. He always seems to find a way to make something good happen. This is going to be a big test for me to see where this Bucs team goes this coming weekend when they have to go to Seattle, because I believe the Seattle Seahawks have a legitimate defense. And if he can do some good things and beat the Seahawks in Seattle, then I'll believe that this team is really for real. If not, I'll probably drop them down a couple of rungs next week.
Yeah, they are. They're finding a way. Like, it's just wins, man. Like, it's the NFL. Like, it's different. I don't feel like you have to just beat the hell out of people to get to a point. Like, they just keep making it happen. Defense is pretty solid. And again, with Mike going down, but Ibuka's just.
But Godwin came back this week, so you supplement.
Yeah, you got to get the rust off.
You supplement a little bit there. They have McMillan as well.
Sterling Shepard's been
Sterling
an
Shepard.
option.
Yeah, McMillan's gone. Yeah, they have Sterling Shepard. I don't know. They feel very Matt Ryan's Falcon-ish to me, where they're pulling out all these one-score games, and that works. But they don't feel like the Super Bowl year Matt Ryan Falcons. They feel like gosh, there was one year they lost to the 49. I think they lost to the Kaepernick 49ers that year. So
Yeah.
I will say if they do win this week, Greg, I'm in. They'll no doubt they may not break the top 5, but they'll no doubt break the top 7. So
Yeah. And I'm sure, and just from the 3-1 aspect, them, the Niners, the Seahawks, like there's a cluster of others like the Jags and they all kind of feel the same. Like this, like I said, 10-13 or 6-13 crapshoot to me. So I don't know. All right. I know y'all got some people in top 5.
Yeah, real quick, let's hit the Rams and the Seahawks. Or I'm sorry, we just want to say 5 through 1 real quick?
Yeah, 5 through 1 because I got the Rams up there.
Yeah, I do too. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
My 5 through 1. I have the Lions at 5. I have the Chiefs at number 4. I have the Rams at 3. I have the Eagles at 2, and then I have the Bills at 1.
Okay.
For me, I've got the Chargers at 5. I've got the Bucks at 4, Lions at 3, Eagles at 2, Bills at 1.
I have Chargers, Rams, Lions, Eagles, Buffalo.
Okay. So
I think the big
let's
conversation needs to be the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's throw the Seahawks in with them as well.
I'm so interested to see.
Yeah, it's weird because it's Sam Darnold, but the defense is really good for the Seahawks. And to me, there's not a whole lot to say about the Seahawks. Let's just wait and see. Like
they are the most wait and see for me.
Like I have a Seahawks division winner ticket. I thought they were way undervalued coming into the season. But let's wait and see because the pieces are there, but I don't know if their coach can actually coach football. He's 4 games into it. So kind of want to wait and see on the Seahawks. Kind of want to see if Sam Darnold's going to start seeing ghosts again. Or if he's just a legit serviceable NFL quarterback that kind of had a rough go of it in New York to start his career.
Yeah. You know what's funny is like they're another team like you could just kind of throw in there. They're just an eye test team because they're basically doing the exact same thing the Bucks are doing.
Yeah,
the exact same thing. Like they're beating okay teams, beat the crap out of the Titans.
They beat the crap out of the Steelers in Pittsburgh. That's a pretty good win for the Seahawks.
Yeah, they did, and they beat the Cardinals.
No, I was talking about the Rams.
Oh,
my bad.
The Rams. The Rams are like basically doing the same thing. Like it's just the Seahawks. Yeah, they've got a good win. Like I was like, but watching them, I'm just like, I don't know. It's a really good defensive team.
Yeah. I will say the reason I have the Rams at 4, or excuse me, I have the Rams at 3 is because of Puka Nacua. The guy is quickly becoming the best receiver in the league for me. Where it's like, I trust Puka Nacua to get 100 yards almost minimum now. And I don't know, like Matthew Stafford is older than dirt. Now he's still really good. But like it's like McVay was like, that is my perfect ideal NFL player. I can scheme him open in 15,000 different ways. And Nacua is like, sure. And also I'm a great blocker and I love hitting people and letting Kyron Williams and Blake Corum get into the second level.
6'2", 212, baby. Gotta be something to do something.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Greg, Rams.
Yeah, I have them just a little further down. And look, honestly, looking at it, that maybe they should be a little further up. I've got them at 7. I like them a lot. They've had, they played the Eagles tight in Philly. I like that. They beat a Colts team that we're really not too sure about that is even good or not. And then at Tennessee, obviously, and then home against the Texans, which was an ugly game. The thing that really worries me, as you kind of alluded to, is Matthew Stafford, like the health of Matthew Stafford. Is he going to be able to make it all the way through the season? Like, to me, that's the biggest worry. They've got some really good pieces. You mentioned Nacua. Obviously, Devontae is still there. He's still doing it. Like, that might be one of the best wide receiver combinations in the league currently. Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, as you mentioned, doing some good things. And, they've been pretty darn good on defense as well, pretty stout against everybody except for the Eagles. So they've got a good squad. And look, my dad's a big Rams fan, so I'm always rooting for the Rams, but I gotta see a little bit more. Again, beat the 49ers this week, go to Baltimore and kick a team when they're down and beat them at their place in the land of the crab cakes. But I'm kind of wait and see mode-ish a little bit. I like them. Obviously, they have some really good pieces, but I'll probably move them up if they continue to get some wins here.
Yeah, and he's loving Devontae too.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize Devontae has the most red zone targets.
Yeah, and what a
Oh, that's
luxury to
him.
have as your number 2 guy. Like, you're like, "All right, Cooper Kupp, we've used you. Get on out of here. We'll take this guy, and we'll get him for a discount." And, man, Blake Corum and Kyren Williams, it's a two-headed monster.
It is.
So, all right, I think our obvious next stop is in Arrowhead. And, the disparity of where we have these teams. All
I
right.
have a 6. Where'd you
I
have
have
him?
them
I got him
at 4.
I got him at 6 as well, so we're pretty close.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah, okay. All right. I thought I heard somebody at them 4. All right, I have them at 4 because of what they're going to be. That's it. That's it. So these are power rankings. They're not record rankings. So with Xavier Worthy coming back, and it was like, oh hallelujah, somebody that can run fast and catch the ball at the same time. It opened up pretty much everything for that offense. The only thing that worries me is the Ravens defense bottom 5 unit in the NFL.
They're
maybe
So
they're
bad.
not very good, but I will say it does mean something to me that the Chiefs scored 37 points and they were like, all right, let's take our foot all the way off the gas. Like it wasn't like they took it all the way off the gas. They pulled Mahomes, they pulled all the starters. I think they're going to be fine. And Mahomes actually looked better in this game on the deep ball, which made me feel really good. Travis Kelce was opened up, I thought, with the return of Xavier Worthy, where the stress is not all on him. Because if you throw to Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquise Brown consistently, you're rolling dice. I mean, you're really, really trying to pull something out of there that might not be there.
You like them as options, but that's it.
Sure. You like them as 2 and 3, and 3 and 4 when Rashee Rice comes back in 2 weeks. Yep. 2 more weeks. So
no, they both scored a touchdown last week. And the one part of this game that really this team that really scares me though is the running game. Like it just seems so non-existent right now. Like Pacheco coming back from that injury, he doesn't seem to quite have that same burst, and they don't really lean much on the running game. And I understand. Look, they threw it 37 times in this game, and they have Kareem Hunt there who was not very efficient in this game, but the running game just doesn't have a lot of pop and sizzle for me. Like obviously you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Xavier Worthy. When Rashee Rice comes back, that's going to be big. But the running game is what scares me. I know they find a way, and they've done it in the past where they haven't had great running backs, and they found a way to manufacture the running game and still be relevant and win with Patrick Mahomes at the helm. But I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it again this year.
I didn't really think they could do this, what they did to Baltimore. I know they're bad. I know it's a bad defensive team, but again, we talked about it's been a long time since Kansas City scored like this. It's been years. And I was like, oh, if they can do this, this is going to be another year where we're like, why in the world did I pick against anybody but the freaking Patriots of this decade? It's like, why? Why would I pick against Patrick Mahomes, who's still the best quarterback in the league? It's like we might be saying that again. It's like he's going to beat freaking Josh Allen in the AFC Championship game again. You're like, why did I bet against that guy? Like that.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm going to do the same stupid thing that my stupid self does after 2 weeks. I'm like, they're just barely scraping by. And it's like, oh yeah, he's still awesome. He's still awesome. He got some health back. Andy Reid's still great. But man, if they were to change the game and get back to scoring in buckets again, that's a terrifying Kansas City Chiefs game.
Yeah. It is. All right. We're at 114. So I think we got about 6 good minutes left here. And we got, I guess, 3 teams left. Lions, Eagles, Bills, I think. And I guess Chargers. I don't really.
Chargers, just because they beat the Chiefs, I was like, I got to put them ahead of.
Yeah.
I still think they look really good.
And they lost the Giants this week. They probably would have been my number 2 if they
Jackson
not
Dart.
lost. Yeah.
Legacy game, baby.
Sure.
Legacy game.
Whatever.
That's right.
All right. The Lions. Very polarizing team, I think. Not from our rankings, just from whatever, what you could say about them, for what they showed. They kind of get their shit rocked week 1 in Green Bay,
Yeah.
And since then, they have been on the Ben Johnson didn't make us revenge tour. What are you guys' thoughts?
They're awesome. They can really score. They got pissed, embarrassed in week 1, and then they just found their offense. Gibbs and Montgomery, awesome. I don't know if it's just the perfect love, but Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff together is just harmony. It's just harmony. They've not even got Laporta really, really involved yet. Like, this team right now, dude, clicking on all cylinders, and it's fun to watch. Not gonna lie to you, it's the best football. It's the best football right now to watch. But
You know,
you
I
can't
think
lose
one
to
of
the
the
Packers like that.
I think one of the best compliments I can give an opposing team is that, like, hey, like, they're in my division, they're supposed to be a rival. Yet, like, if I'm not playing them, I don't mind rooting for them. Like, it's just like
Mhm.
you said, Chase. Like, it's just fun to watch the Lions. Like with Jahmyr Gibbs, and you mentioned Montgomery, and Amon-Ra is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, wide receiver to watch. And I don't care what Miggy says about him not being a top 5 wide receiver. Like, the dude just, I mean, he just produces. Like, and Aiden Hutchinson is fun to watch rushing the passer now that he's back. Yeah, like you said, Drew, it's, the Ben Johnson didn't make us revenge tour, and since that week 1 game, they've really kind of taken the lid off the offense a bit, and they've really found their footing. And that's what I anticipated from the Lions. That's what everybody anticipated from the Lions, and they're back. They're a fun team to watch, and look, the secondary has been pretty good as well. They've got some good pieces back there, and Dan Campbell just biting kneecaps and just getting this team, on the straight and narrow. And he might be sort of the X factor that, like, he doesn't have to, like, coach one side of the football or the other, but there is something to be said about being a leader of men, and, a guy that people want to follow and want to, listen to and want to go to bat for. And it just seems like Dan Campbell's that type of guy.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. I think the Lions are good. I think they're going to be good going forward. I think there was kind of some smoke and mirrors, like, oh no, it's going to be the Packers this year. I think the Packers are still going to make the playoffs, but
They
Lion,
just feel
yeah, Lions
better.
are exciting.
They
So,
just feel better now. Why are we all Bills, Eagles?
one,
Where
they're
they're
both
at?
4-0.
No, but I'm just saying, like, did you guys have really any thought of I'm
N-
definitely gonna put the Eagles over the Bills, like, at all?
Oh no, and I'll tell you why. Because the Bills have Josh Allen,
Yes.
and that's it. That's it. Like I'm
That's
dead serious. Like
yeah.
I was just kind of I was trying to put the Eagles in. Like I was trying to figure out where to put the Eagles, and then I was like, what team am I? I'm like, oh yeah, the Bills. And they have Josh Allen. And he's the best player in the league, and he's got Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, and
2
whoever.
tight ends.
Yeah,
Dalton Knox and
whoever
Kincaid.
else are running routes for him, and it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. And it's like I'm just gonna bet on Josh Allen being the best player in the league, and by default, his team's going to be the best player in the league while the Chiefs kind of figure out whatever they're doing. So,
And the factor of Josh Allen is you may have the most productive running back in the league now.
yeah, dude, James Cook was minus 260 to score a touchdown this week. Minus 260. Derrick Henry got to that number like one time when he was Christian McCaffrey wasn't even getting to that number
I know.
when he was doing all those
When
banging
he
out
had
those
16 straight
yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah.
Yeah.
James Cook was minus 260. I know they're playing the Saints, but still. Um, yeah, it's Josh Allen, boys, and without him, the Bills are not very good. I don't think. Like
No.
if you put Mitchell Trubisky back in there to run some stuff, it's going to get real scary because then it's load the box time. But yeah, that's what
He's
it is for
incredible.
me. And I mean, honestly, if the Eagles weren't 4-0, I don't know where they'd be because I kind of hate this team. Not from like, anything personal. They're kind of doing a Chiefs impression from last year. Just like, yeah, we figured out how to win. We know how to win with this specific team. It's going to be boring as all hell to watch. Our fans are going to be pissed off. AJ Brown's going to tweet out some passive aggressive 13-year-old subliminal messaging on Twitter. But yeah, we're 4-0 and we're probably going to go like 15-2 this year. And Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts is just had a half where he didn't complete a pass.
And they're gonna win by one possession, literally every game.
He didn't complete a pass. What? Not one?
Did y'all see the mic'd up clip? Man, you didn't get 100 yards.
Oh, Chris Jones.
Did you see that,
The
G?
Chiefs game.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so it's they're fixed to take a knee, and Chris Jones is just barking at Jalen Hurts is like, man, you didn't get 100 yards. So he goes, shut your ass up. We won the game. Dude, it's a great mic'd up moment. And,
Yeah.
the NFL is like, we don't want the cussing on FCC stuff, but that's going to be a banger on social.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And nobody spit on each other. All right. Good
Yeah,
job,
for
guys.
real.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Another thing I want to touch on with the Bills is also like they've been missing two of their better defensive players in Oliver and Milano as well, and they're still, again, I get they're facing the Saints, the whole thing, but they still find a way to be good enough to win those games. And like you mentioned, Drew, like obviously Josh Allen is that guy, and then James Cook has been fantastic. And it's so interesting to me that like the Eagles have the better weapons. Like they got Saquon, they've got, Devonta Smith, they've got Dallas Goedert, they've got AJ Brown. And you look at the Bills' weapons, as you guys were talking about, it's like Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman. Like those names just don't strike the same chord that the guys in Philly do. Yet I feel much better about where the Bills are from an offensive standpoint, which feels dirty to say because the playmakers are so much better in Philly. It's just, Jalen Hurts is just not anywhere close to what Josh Allen is.
Just a different way of football.
Yeah.
It's just a different way. That's it. Like it's it. And you're right, Drew. It's like it does feel very Chiefs-ish.
Yeah.
From the last couple of years.
Sure. And, I'll be honest, AJ Brown will probably go for 100 yards here soon. And this
100%.
whole point will, like, they'll force feed him against one of these lesser opponents. And then, that'll kind of keep him happy, and then that'll kind of keep the Eagles fans happy. But I don't expect this Eagles team to go anywhere. And yeah, they just figured out how to win. They have the infrastructure, and that's what good franchises do.
Yep,
so,
they are.
No fault of their own. So
none.
You want to touch our two sad little franchises real quick before we get out of here?
Go ahead.
Well, I'll touch mine really quick because it'll be quick. We're just going to be inconsistent. We'll probably go like 9-8. I don't really have much more to say than that. If anybody else thinks anything about the Falcons, they're welcome to. Bijan Robinson is an Offensive Player of the Year candidate. So
Bijan's amazing.
And Algiers good too. And we have great weapons, but
good.
You're very limited at quarterback. I'll be honest.
Well, he's just very inconsistent. Like he threw for 300 yards this week, which is great. But where this team really needs help is still on defense. Like the defensive line is much improved, but their coverage corners are crap. Like they're not very good. And the AJ Terrell being out doesn't help. So, but yeah, one thing that I will say is I'm just glad I'm not a Tennessee Titans fan because I hate watching them.
It's the worst kind of football.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to be this offensive guru, that's the worst part about Callahan. And I don't mean to hate on the guy. Like I know this sucks. It's a position you're going to be put in when you are the offensive mind. It's like, hey man, we're going to mention it again. You don't have T. Higgins. You don't have Joe Burrow. And you definitely don't have Jamar Chase out there. Calvin Ridley's been awful. I mean, I just don't know where he go because I think Cam has some juice. Like I think Cam can be really good. But he ain't going to be with this staff. And we have so far to go. Like, you're not even going to sniff a W, it feels like. I mean, the Texans game was like, that's a bad scoring Texans team. And you couldn't get one on it. Like, you couldn't make that an ugly game. Like, that's the thing about if you want to go back to the Vrabel points, like, sure, I feel like he put us in worse spots, but it's like, Vrabel would have just held that team to 13 points. We would have been in it. Like, there's really good coaches out there that can do crap like that, find a way to win. Callahan ain't it. I don't know where you go, but you got a new stadium coming. You got to figure it out fast. This is not a GM that hired Callahan. Time to turn over. See you bye. Like,
yeah,
this is just an absolute disgrace right now, a franchise, and it just doesn't look well ran, doesn't look well coached. Nobody wants to play. Like, this is getting like, can we relegate teams yet?
Saints Titans relegation battle in week 17.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Titans host the Saints.
But the thing is, the Saints have a good fan base.
The Saints have a good fan base, and the Saints are capable of scoring 20-plus points.
That's a fact.
And they covered the spread versus the Bills this week.
We were joking last night in our text group. It's going to take us like 8 weeks just to get to the 40 points. I woke up this morning and she was like, dude, we may not get 40 in the next 8 weeks. And teams did it last night. I don't know how we get there. Pollard's okay. Like we've got some okay guys. But here's the thing, like that's the difference. Like in a Josh Allen's Bills team is, like if you were to put those wide receivers and like one of those like maybe you got to leave James Cook. He's been awesome, but like if you replace Pollard and James Cook, and then you just brought Knox, Kincaid down to Tennessee, you're like, oh, those guys are not very good. But Josh Allen can make those guys awesome. We can't make those guys awesome. We can't make anybody else. I'm quitting. I'm quitting for the rest of the year.
Oh,
We're watching Red Zone.
you broke up already?
Taking a break.
Okay.
Taking a break. I'll watch from afar. I'll read my Twitter. I can't do it. It's
when it's that bad, you sort of have to separate yourself a little bit. It's not worth it.
It's not. Like zero sucks. All right. Fellas, it's been great. I hate that I had to end that way. Now I'm gonna be thinking about it on the way home. Thanks a lot, Drew.
You want a happy thing?
Yeah. Last thing. Totally not 45.
Darren Waller just scored a touchdown in his first game back.
Nice.
Yay, Darren Waller. Really proving Kelsey Plum wrong. There you go. There's
right.
happiness.
Take that.
Everybody go get him off the waiver wire now.
Yep. G, you're the man for joining us tonight.
Love you
like,
guys.
subscribe everywhere. Love you, buddy. Love all yins. You're the best. We out. Come on, producer. Got that, dog.